Hi, friends. I want to talk to you about doing hard things today. Yeah, doing hard things. When we do hard things, that means that we often have to rise above our self imposed limitations, our self imposed beliefs, right? So that we can rise above the obstacles that are in front of us that are keeping us from doing hard things. So I want to tell you a short story. This morning I woke up and I picked a card for my Instagram stories because I share those most often every morning. And it's a card from a self-love deck. And the card read, I rise above all limitations. I rise above all limitations. And I gave this a thought for my audience as well as for myself. And it's like, this is a great day to rise above any limitations that I have, any limitations that I'm feeling. And I ask myself, what do I feel are my limitations? And oftentimes it's really easy for us to notice what they are because we have pushback from something that we want to do. And I want to encourage you that you can do hard things. We can all do hard things. And the beautiful thing about prepping for doing hard things is to wake up in the morning and do one thing every day that scares you. Maybe that scares the hell out of you. Maybe that makes your stomach cringe and contract. Maybe that tells your ego is telling you, oh no, don't do that. That's not safe. You can't do that. And here's the reason why. So the thing is that when I woke up this morning and I pulled this card, I thought, I'm not going to let anything stop me today. If there's something in my way, I'm going to be able to come up with tools and skills to overcome whatever it is. And so when we want to change the way that we look at things, or yeah, this is so funny. This goes back and forth anyway. If we want to change the way that we do things, then we have to change the way that we approach it, because using the same approach day in and day out and expecting a different outcome is the definition of insanity. That's not going to get us anywhere. So when I realized that I was going to rise above my limitations, I did not know what the day had, um, you know, planned for me. And what happened was I had this phone call with one of my most trusted besties, girlfriends, and she asked me a question that was, and maybe this would apply to you too, if you have a business, have you asked yourself, what is the core story about you? What is your core story? What is it that drives you to do what you do when it comes to either your life or your work, your daily habits, whatever? And fast forward this, we dug down deep and she put the question back on me, and I had this huge breakthrough, and it was remarkable. But I had to have courage to go deep and become vulnerable and really allow the emotions that were coming up for me to tap into my feelings and really feel them and really know the truth about that question. And I had discovered that I was dancing all around it without really naming it and claiming it about what my core story is about my work. And so that was a huge breakthrough. And I just felt completely that I transcended something that was an obstacle for me for so long. So getting back to being able to do hard things, if I wouldn't have allowed my friend to ask me that question, and if I didn't allow myself to really feel into it, to find the truth that required me to become very vulnerable with myself and with my emotions and let my feelings come up and tears stream down my face about what it really was that was true for me. I felt it. I leaned into it. I embraced it. And upon that moment, I was transformed in that moment. The trajectory that I was going in completely changed. It opened up to limitless possibilities, whereas before they just didn't feel possible. And so that required me to do a hard thing. And one of the things that we need to do in order to do hard things is to change the lens in which we view ourselves. And that's what I did that morning. when I had this discussion, this conversation with her, I changed the lens with which I viewed myself. And I put on my truth lens and allowed me to explore with curiosity, because that's all we're ever doing is exploring, really. And when we have a safe place to explore, beautiful revelations and opportunities to be able to transcend our being at the moment arise, and we can rise above. We can rise above. So know what you need to change. In order to rise above your limitations, you have to fully understand and own that you don't have any. That's number one. Number two, you need to change the lens of which you view yourself. Because if you view yourself being small, if you view yourself as not being enough, and you view yourself as having all these excuses and stories on why you can't do something, you're not gonna get through. You've got to know what you need to change as well. And that's going to come through once you change the lens. And then be willing to do the work. We have to be willing to do the work. So if you're not willing to do the work, close the door, forget about it, and move on with your life. Because it's not going to change unless you change. Nothing's going to change unless you change. So you have to be willing to do the work. So looking to move beyond your certain circumstances is going to require you to rise above your limitations, and know that you don't have any anyway. They're only self-imposed limitations. And the gateway is right here. So if you close the door, say, oh, no, my limitations are right here, and this is as far as I can go, then you have a ceiling. And when you open it up to the possibilities, the limitless ones for the universe, then you allow anything and everything to come in that you want and that you desire. And so my challenge to you is to do hard things. Every day that you wake up, starting tomorrow, decide that you're going to do one hard thing and figure out what that is. Know what you need to change in order to rise above, and then start working with that. So today, after that conversation, I'll give you an example. I thought, I'm going to do something that's really hard for me to do today. What's that going to be? It's going to turn on the shower to completely ice cold, freezing weather, which we're in, and finish my shower, which I've been doing for the last several weeks with cold. But sometimes, I feel into it. It's like, it's not a hell yes, so I'm not doing it. Today I said, I don't care if it's a hell yes, I'm going to do it. And I turned on the cold, and I timed it, and I held it for a minute and 45 seconds cold shower. I got out of that cold shower. That was a hard thing to do. I felt amazing. I felt so alive. Try it. You'll like it. It's an amazing feeling. You can start with 10 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, and just build up. And as long as you incorporate your breath work and your relaxation process, there's ways to get through this other than jumping out of it. You calm yourself down. You calm your nerves. You tell your mind you can get through this. You tell your mind that you can do hard things. You set the timer for 10 seconds and then you get out. So what I did when I got out is like, wow, it's cold weather out there and the wind is blowing, and maybe I'm just going to top off my cold shower. So what I did is I ran out on my deck and I had a towel wrapped around me, and I got to a place where it's private. It's just the woods. I took the towel off and I said, I'm going to dance out here for 2 minutes, butt naked, no clothes, in the wind. It's freezing cold. It was like below 40 degrees. Set the timer for 2 minutes, and I just did my thing. But where was my mind? My mind was embracing the hard thing that I was doing, and also trying to flow through it, bringing some joy in, really just knowing that I could do anything that I set my mind to. And when the 2 minutes came up, the buzzer went off, wrapped the towel around me, went back in the house, and got ready for my day. I had done 3 hard things before 2 o'clock today, and you can too. So I want to encourage you and let you know that you can do hard things. And all you have to do is allow your mindset to say, I'm with you, you're safe, I got you. And then put yourself into safe circumstances where you can do those hard things, and get the courage. Get the courage to be vulnerable, to go do that thing. Because without courage, you won't make it through the door. This is Shelley Marenka with Inspired Living. I love you, and I'm so glad that you have spent some time here with me. I hope it made a difference for you. And please let me know in the comments below what your challenge is going to be. What is your challenge going to be tomorrow when you wake up and you're going to decide that you're going to do one hard thing? What is that one hard thing going to do? And check back with me and let me know how it goes with you. I don't know where you're watching this, but it's going to be posted on my Instagram channel and my YouTube channel and my Facebook page of Inspired Living. So go out and do that one hard thing and know that I've got your back. All the love.